They call it the eye of a monster, literally. Picture an eye bigger than a dinner plate, the largest eye of any animal that has ever lived on Earth, built specifically to catch the last faint scraps of light in a world with none. And down where it lives, it needs every single bit of that vision, because something is always looking back. For most of the ocean's history, the giant squid had nothing to fear. Its flesh is armored in a thick ammonia-flavored layer that most predators can't stomach. Near total darkness hides it from anything hunting by color or shape. And at over 40 feet long, it carries a beak strong enough to slice through cable-thick tentacle. It carries 8 arms and 2 feeding tentacles, lined with hundreds of serrated, rotating suckers. On paper, this thing should be untouchable. So why does it panic the second it hears a very specific sound? To understand that, you have to realize just how safe the giant squid is supposed to be. It lives in the bathypelagic midnight zone, sometimes deeper, a stretch of ocean starting around 3,000 feet down, where sunlight has never once existed. The pressure down there is measured in tons per square inch. Most creatures capable of reaching that depth are small, slow, and built to conserve energy, not to fight. In that world, the giant squid isn't just safe, it's basically royalty. You're probably thinking, how could anything down here pose a threat to an animal like that? Stranger still, its only real predator isn't even built for the deep ocean at all. This hunter is a mammal, air-breathing and warm-blooded, traits that should make it instantly catastrophically vulnerable to cold, pressure, and suffocation the moment it goes looking for a fight. And yet, the sperm whale does exactly that, on purpose, over and over again. Here's the part that should terrify any giant squid listening, and honestly, anyone who appreciates ocean physics. The sperm whale isn't hunting by sight. Down there, sight is nearly useless anyway. Instead, it hunts by sound, generating the loudest biological noise on the planet. Inside its skull sits an organ called the spermaceti organ, a massive chamber of waxy oil that works like a biological acoustic lens. Fired through it, the whale's hunting clicks can hit over 230 decibels. That is loud enough in air to physically injure a human body from a room away. Underwater, those clicks travel even further, bouncing off everything nearby and returning as a full 3D sonar map: depth, distance, size, even rough skin texture. Some researchers believe that at close range, the whale can focus this sound with enough intensity to stun or disorient prey before contact is even made. Nobody's proven that theory conclusively, but if it's true, the giant squid isn't just being hunted, it's being hit before the fight even starts. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait, if a giant squid is 45 feet long, isn't this an even fight? Length is a trick here. The squid's body, however long, is soft, watery, and shockingly light for its size, often under 1,000 pounds even at its largest recorded lengths. A sperm whale at the exact same length can weigh over 90,000 pounds. That's not two giants fighting, it's a battleship colliding with a sail. When a sperm whale finally locks on to a squid's location, the outcome looks almost predetermined. It doesn't need finesse, it just needs to close its jaw. The squid's arms will lash out immediately and violently. Its suckers are lined with sharp, rotating rings that can leave raking scars on flesh a foot thick. Sperm whale's surface covered in these marks, sometimes healed, sometimes fresh. But scars aren't the same as damage. A layer of blubber up to a foot thick absorbs most of what the squid can throw at it. The whale might bleed, it's not going to lose. But, and this is the part that gives the giant squid a real fighting chance, the whale isn't invincible down there. It's on a clock. Every dive is powered by a single breath taken hundreds of feet above. The deeper and longer the chase goes, the closer the whale creeps towards one simple problem. Eventually, it has to breathe, or it drowns. That single fact changes how this fight actually plays out. The squid doesn't need to win. It doesn't need to hurt the whale enough to drive it off. It just needs to survive long enough, thrash hard enough, or slip away into cover long enough that the whale's internal countdown runs out first. This is why researchers estimate that most dives, end in failure for the whale. Somewhere around 1 attempt in 10 results in an actual kill. The rest of the time, it's a miss. The squid escapes into darkness it knows better than anything alive. Sometimes it sacrifices an arm or two and swims off missing a limb, but very much alive. Or the ocean simply swallows the trail. Even a 40-foot animal is a needle in a haystack that size. Knowing all that, is the giant squid really as doomed as it looks? Not exactly. It's outmatched in almost every way that matters in a straight fight: mass, force, detection. But it's not defenseless, and it's not without an escape route. It survives the same way a lot of prey animals survive impossible predators, not by being stronger, but by making sure the fight never lasts long enough to matter. Still, imagine being a giant squid for just a moment. You've spent your entire life ruling the one part of the ocean where nothing your size dares to follow. Then, every so often, you hear it, a sound like a gunshot through water, closing in from somewhere you can't see, attached to something 40 times your weight. You'd probably be terrified too. What do you think is the giant squid's best weapon? Its ink, its camouflage, or its ability to outweight the whale's breath clock? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you're curious what happens when the tables turn completely, check out our video on the colossal squid next.